Hey everyone, welcome to That's Good Denver. I'm your host Chris Romeo, and today I'll be breaking down the Nuggets season, their 2023-2024 season, as they finished the regular season, 57-25, second place in the West. Very solid season for the Nuggets again. After winning the after the Nuggets won the championship last year for the first time in franchise history, the Nuggets have had the target on their back all year long, and the fact that they got the number 2 seed is pretty impressive. They could have gotten the number 1 seed if they didn't choke that one game to the Spurs, but I'll talk more about it later. But the Nuggets, I don't think, need the 1 seed. I won't be able to break down every Nuggets game or anything like that in this video because there's 82 games, but I'll break down each player that played a lot this season for the Nuggets and break down their role and what they did, and I'll be doing that and break down what I think will happen with them in the playoffs, what I think will happen with the Nuggets, what I think will happen with players like Jokic, Jamal, and whatnot. With that being said, let's get going. So the Nuggets finished at 57-25, second place in the West. They were tied with the Thunder for the number 1 seed, and the Thunder got the tiebreaker over the Nuggets. Because Thunder won 3 out of 4 games against Denver this year. So, both teams finished 57-25. The Nuggets should also be happy they got the 2 seed because they were the 3 seed going into game 82. But thankfully the Suns beat the Timberwolves, and the Nuggets were able to take care of business against the Grizzlies to get them past the T-Wolves, but unfortunately, the Nuggets could have still gotten the 1 seed, but the Thunder absolutely killed the Mavericks by like 50. That was that. And before I get into the players, the Nuggets don't really need the 1 seed to win the championship again. The Nuggets have had the target on their back all year, and the Nuggets had the 1 seed last year and won the championship, but if the Nuggets would have gotten the number 1 seed, they would have had a bigger target on their back going to the playoffs. They'd be the reigning NBA champions. They'd be the 1 seed again. Everyone would want to be beating the Nuggets, and everyone would be double teaming, triple teaming Jokic like crazy, and they would have had a bigger target on their back. And I still think the Nuggets. I still think the Nuggets are the favorites to come out of the West and go back to the NBA Finals in the West. I don't know if the Nuggets will. I could see the Nuggets beating the Celtics or the Bucks in the finals. Will I predict the Nuggets to beat the Celtics? I don't know, but it's very possible the Nuggets beat the Celtics. The Celtics could win that series too. I think Celtics Nuggets is going to be the NBA Finals probably. I think, I think that would be a great NBA Finals. I don't want to spoil it too much because I'm still supposed to do a prediction video. But, to start off things, Nikola Jokic, another historical season for him. Averaged a triple-double dang near. He averaged about 28 points, 13 or 12 rebounds, and averaged about 9 assists. There was a streak there in about March where Jokic had 7 straight triple doubles. Jokic is also first again in the MVP race ahead of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic and Giannis. So those are the 4 front runners. Jokic is number 1. So Jokic going for a 3rd MVP. He continues to do great things. His passing ability hasn't slowed down at all. His passing ability is still great. His scoring numbers aren't as high as last year, but that's because everybody's double teaming, triple teaming him. And, Jokic, he's been double team, triple team. That's what's going to happen when you're the 2-time MVP and finals MVP from last year. So Jokic still going insane. Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray, not a bad year for him at all, I don't think. He's averaged about 20 points a game. He's stepped up big in key moments for the Nuggets this season. His best game he's had is 37 points, which is pretty good. Jamal Murray also has missed like 20 games this year, and that's going to be a big X factor. That's a little bit of a concern for the Nuggets going in the playoffs. Jamal Murray, I believe Jamal Murray will pop off and will have his good games in the playoffs coming up. But a lot of it just depends on his health. Jamal Murray has had his ankle injuries, his knee injuries. It's been off and on all year long with Jamal Murray. He's missed a decent amount of games, about a fourth of the Nuggets games this year. The big thing with Jamal Murray, he'll have his good games, but he's got to stay healthy. Then you got Michael Porter Jr., my twin. Michael Porter Jr. has had a really good year, honestly. Michael Porter Jr., he's always been inconsistent with the Nuggets, but I would say Michael Porter Jr. has had probably his best season thus far. He's averaged about 18 to 20 points a game. There's been a lot of times this year where Michael Porter Jr. has been better than Jamal Murray, which is crazy. And Michael Porter Jr. is an X factor for the Nuggets, assuming they're all healthy. He'd be that third guy the Nuggets would look for if Jamal Murray is off or if Nikola Jokic is getting double teamed. So Michael Porter Jr., he's inconsistent, but he's been averaging some good numbers this year, and I think Michael Porter Jr. has a bright future in the NBA. He is my twin because I look like him, and he plays basketball like me too because I'm inconsistent. But Michael Porter Jr., he's had a really good year, and Michael Porter Jr. honestly hasn't been that inconsistent this year. He's put up consistently at least 13 points a game. So Michael Porter Jr. I think has had a really good year, and I expect more things from Michael Porter Jr. come playoff time. And also, Jamal Murray could have gotten an All-Star vote this year. I think he should have gotten an All-Star vote, but the injuries with him probably set him back. Moving on to Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon, he's had a fairly solid year. I haven't talked about defense with any of these players yet. I'll say it real quick. Michael Porter Jr., he's had an not really good defensively, like about the same as last year. Jamal Murray, about the same. Average defender, I would say Jamal Murray is. You got Jokic. Jokic has had a pretty good year defensively, or at least a good year, because Jokic is a lot better defensively than he was last year. Does he have a lot of weaknesses in his defense? Yes. But Jokic has stepped it up a lot this year. Jokic's defense was bad last year, but it's gotten a lot better this year. So, we'll need more of that in the playoffs. But moving on to Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon, not the type of guy you expect to shoot lights out or shoot the three-pointer. His highest game, Michael Porter Jr.'s highest game was about 31 points this year, I think. Aaron Gordon had a 30-point game against the Warriors this year, where he was going off, getting to the free throw line. But Aaron Gordon, he's that type of guy that will get in the paint, draw fouls, get to the free throw line. Aaron Gordon's free throw shooting, I think, got better at a lot of times this year. His free throw shooting got better. His three-point shot is still bad, but he can get those layups. He'll get those alley-oop dunks, which I love. He'll slam in those dimes Aaron Gordon gets from Jokic. And I expect more from him in the playoffs. I love his style of play. And, he can dunk for sure. Then moving on to our fifth and final star, KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. KCP, he's had he's had a decent year, I think. He's the best defender on the Nuggets, and it showed again this year. He plays really good defense, gets his steals and layups. I think KCP kind of took a step back. Aaron Gordon's a good defender. I think KCP's defense has stayed about the same. It's been very solid. Yeah, sure, he'll have guys score on him, but that's every player in the NBA, and KCP is a good stabilized player, good defense. KCP did take a step back, I think, in his three-point shooting at times this year. very inconsistent shooting the ball. I think KCP is more inconsistent shooting the ball than Michael Porter Jr. KCP's averaged about 10 points a game, but there'll be, like, if KCP has a good game shooting the three-pointer, which when KCP shoots the three-pointer well, the Nuggets are a very hard team to beat. There was one game where Kentavious Caldwell-Pope averaged 22 points, went like 5 of 6 from the three-point line, but the very next game he only scores 3 points. So yeah, he's very inconsistent and not the best shooter, but we got to keep his defense up in the playoffs. Then moving on to Peyton Watson, probably our best defensive player, or best defensive. He's a good defensive player, but he's our best bench player, I would say. He stepped up huge after losing Bruce Brown. Peyton Watson didn't play hardly at all last year, but he stepped up huge at times this year, getting a lot of blocks. Nuggets were 8th in the league at blocks at one point. Peyton Watson played a big part of that, getting a lot of layups, getting some layups and dunks. So getting some productive minutes off the bench. He's a really good defender. His long, lengthy arms help. Then you got Christian Brown, about our 7th man on the bench. I think Christian Brown, I think he had some really good minutes at a lot of times this year. His highest game he scored, I think, was like 18 points, which is a lot for him. He'll get some layups, get some dunks. Sometimes he can hit the three-point shot even. He's our 7th man off the bench, and I expect more from Christian Brown in the playoffs. I think he's really good, and I think Christian Brown is a young player and has a lot of upside. I think he has a really bright. Christian Brown has a very bright future with the Denver Nuggets, and I expect more from Christian Brown in the playoffs, and I think he's a pretty solid player. Then the last player I'm going to talk about is Reggie Jackson. I would talk about DeAndre Jordan or Justin Holiday, but those guys, I guess I'll talk. There's not much to talk about with those guys because they don't play that much. But Reggie Jackson started off the year really good. He had like He had a 30-point game against the Clippers that carried the Nuggets to a victory when the Nuggets were without 4 starters. And Reggie Jackson's average, Reggie Jackson's been up off and on this year. He had some really good minutes to start this year. Then when February and March came around, he really started struggling. Was costing the Nuggets in the game a little bit, not like the whole game, but like he was just playing really bad, not good defense, not good ball security. So Reggie Jackson, he's got a good shot at he's got a good shot at being a part of the playoff rotation, because the playoff rotation for the Nuggets will probably be 8 guys. I'm assuming Christian Brown and Peyton Watson will be a part of that, but yeah, we'll see. We got Justin Holiday. Justin Holiday is a guy I did not expect the Nuggets to play a lot this year. I expected possibly like Jalen Pickett to play in front of him. But Justin Holiday, he can shoot the three well every once in a while. At first, when Justin Holiday was in the rotation, I was like, why is he in? Like, Justin Holiday is not that good. But Justin Holiday, he can shoot and he can get some layups. But yeah, I mean, he's a young player that possibly has some upside, but, he's also a player that the Nuggets could trade to try to get someone a little better, maybe. But then you got DeAndre Jordan, and I also forgot to talk about Zeke Naji. DeAndre Jordan, he can't shoot worth a crap. He can't shoot free throws, and I don't want to ever see DeAndre Jordan shooting a three-pointer unless the Nuggets are up 30 in the fourth quarter. But DeAndre Jordan, he can get some alley-oop dunks. He can get some blocks. I think he's a good defender, DeAndre Jordan is. He also misses some layups, but he can also make layups. But, DeAndre Jordan, he's okay. I've always thought they should trade DeAndre Jordan this year to get another guy. But then, at the same time, he does get some points, getting some alley-oop dunks and layups. So, DeAndre Jordan, he's okay. Then you got Zeke Naji. Zeke Naji, I think, Zeke Naji, he's off and on. Zeke Naji doesn't even play that much, honestly. Doesn't score a whole lot of points, but he gets some blocks, gets some layups. So kind of like DeAndre Jordan, except DeAndre Jordan's better. And Zeke Naji, honestly, could be a guy that the Nuggets should trade eventually, but we'll see. But yeah, those are the breakdown of all the Nuggets players. How their season's going, and in the playoffs, I obviously the same starting five from last year that they have this year: KCP, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, and Nikola Jokic. Starting five in the playoffs. Hopefully, they can play as much minutes as hopefully they can play a lot of minutes without getting tired. And we'll need guys off the bench to step up, like Christian Brown, Peyton Watson, Reggie Jackson. Come on now. And we'll see if DeAndre Jordan or Zeke Naji get in the games. But yeah, that's my breakdown of all the players. And yeah, like I said, the Nuggets don't need the 1 seed to win the finals again, I don't think. They got the 2 seed, and the only team they would have to get by in the Western Conference playoff, the only team they would have the only team the Nuggets would not have home court advantage against in the playoffs is the Thunder, and the Thunder are a very young team, and I'm interested to see how they'll do in the playoffs, because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander hasn't played a playoff game, neither has Josh Giddey, Chet Holmgren, so we'll see. But yeah, and before I get done with this video, I was going to talk about my 5 favorite Nuggets games that happened this year. My 5 favorite games that I watched. Obviously, it's games that the Nuggets won. It's not games that the Nuggets lost, because the Nuggets are too good for that. But and because I didn't tell you about my trip to Denver yet, and I wasn't able to upload it on my YouTube channel. But my number 1 favorite game probably was the Celtics Nuggets game that I went to in Denver, Colorado. Nuggets won 115-109. It was a very fun game to watch. Possible finals preview. My seats were nosebleed, but I could still see everything perfectly fine. I got Jokic's buzzer beater on camera, and I got Jokic's alley-oop to Aaron Gordon on cameras that put the game away. Nuggets were up by like 10 at one point, then the Celtics cut it to 5, then Nuggets built it up to 10 again with 6 minutes left, but then the Celtics almost came back and took the lead thanks to a Jason Tatum corner missed 3. And then after that, Jokic was able to get it and get an alley-oop dunk to Aaron Gordon that put the game away. Nuggets win by 6. My second favorite game to watch this year was probably the Nuggets the Nikola Jokic buzzer beater against the Warriors. The Nuggets won 130-127. Nuggets were down 18 with 6 minutes left. Nuggets were able to crank up the defense, get stop after stop against the Warriors, and get bucket after bucket. All of a sudden, it was like a 5-point game with a minute left. Nuggets were able to get a 2-for-1, get a alley-oop dunk from Jokic to Aaron Gordon, and then a Jokic layup. And then Jamal Murray got a steal. Then Jokic with 4 seconds left heaves it up from half court and banks it in for the win. That shot was crazy. I got that shot on video too. So yeah, I got that shot on video. It was crazy. The third best game from the regular season was the Nuggets beating the Timberwolves, I think. The last game, not the first time the Nuggets beat the Timberwolves, but the game last Wednesday where the Nuggets and T-Wolves went at it for the number 1 seed in Denver. And it was a very close game throughout. And then the Nuggets led by 3 going into the third, and the Nuggets absolutely dominated in the fourth quarter. Jokic had 41 points to lead the way, and he carried the Nuggets because no one else was really scoring that much. And the Nuggets won by like 10. I think the final score was like 124-115. Nuggets won by like 9 or 10. It wasn't that close in the end. I got to come up with a 4th and 5th favorite game to watch this year. The Lakers-Nuggets game, the very first game of the season, was one of my favorites, I think, even though it was in October and nobody cares about basketball in October. I'm trying. Let me pause the video. Yeah, let me pause the video. Okay, I got it figured out now. So my fourth favorite game to watch this year was probably the Nuggets beating the Lakers. Actually, no, my fourth favorite game was the Nuggets beating the Bucks in February. It was, or late January. Nuggets beat the Bucks 113-107 at home. Nuggets got off to a slow start in the first quarter, I remember, but then battled back. Jokic had a big game, and Nuggets won a thriller over the Bucks, 113-107, I think it was. So yeah, that was a really good, fun game to watch. Giannis and Jokic go at it. And then my fifth favorite game to watch, even though it's the first game of the season, and the first game of the NBA season doesn't really mean much. It meant something though. The Nuggets passed the Timberwolves by one game, and they're tied with the Thunder. So this game did matter. The Lakers and Nuggets, first game of the season. Nuggets beat the Lakers 119-107, I think it was. Our defense looked really good at times. Nuggets got off to a really good start in the first quarter, and this Lakers-Nuggets game was actually on ring night, where the Nuggets hung their championship banner. It's the reigning, defending NBA champions, and beat the Lakers. Jokic had a big night, and then my favorite part of this game was at the end of the game, the Nuggets crowd started chanting when the Nuggets were like 30 seconds away from winning. The Nuggets fans started chanting, "Who's your daddy?" That was pretty funny, I thought. But yeah, the Nuggets beat the Lakers, and maybe the Nuggets are the Lakers' daddy, because the Nuggets have swept the Lakers this season and they've won like 8 straight. But I got to be careful, because the Nuggets might be playing the Lakers in the first round, depending on tonight. But yeah, those are my top 5 best games to watch from the Nuggets this year. The championship ring night, the Bucks game, the Timberwolves game for the 1 seed, the Jokic buzzer beat against the Warriors, and of course, I can't even remember what the number 1 game was this year. Oh, the Celtics-Nuggets games I went to, of course. Yes, of course, I can't forget that one. The game I went to, and I saw a possible finals preview. But we'll see, and that's the Nuggets recap video. I am going to get an Avalanche recap video for the regular season out to you once the Avalanche regular season ends. And yeah, the Nuggets going in the playoffs, I think the Nuggets shouldn't necessarily, I would say the Nuggets should feel very close to great going in the playoffs, especially since they're the reigning NBA champions, and they just got to forget about that Spurs loss, because they finished strong anyways, got the 2 seed, and the Nuggets should be feeling great, because the Avalanche aren't looking great going to the playoffs. But yeah, I'll get an Avalanche recap video to you guys, and I'm going to get an NBA playoff recap video to you guys soon. I got to probably do it soon, because the play-in tournament starts tonight, so I got to do it soon. But yeah, that's it, everybody. That's the Nuggets recap video. The Nuggets are the reigning, defending NBA champions at 57-25, second in the West, and coming off the championship last year. Now, let's hope the Nuggets repeat. But that's it, everybody. I'm Chris Romeo, and that's good Denver. The Nuggets are the reigning, defending NBA champions. Yes, let's ride.